back, AK47 here from TradeCaster.com and Prime Trading Investments. Took last week off, was up in New York last week having a great get-together with Sean Dagmar, Day Trade Professor, the people from Lightspeed, all the great traders from TradeCaster.com and anyone else that came. Thank you all for coming out. Let's get back, though, to the weekly previews this week, April 22nd through the 26th. 22nd through the 26th. And when do we finally get in here, baby? It's Pullback City. And ever since we cracked that multi-week uptrend that we'd been on for quite a while, well, just like me and I love my trend line cracks, we know the more we test that trend line, eventually we're going to what? That's right, crack. Been saying that for about 5 years now on these videos on YouTube. So overall, where can we pull back to this week? Well, we've had some pretty substantially big days over the last week. If you go back to the Friday before last, look at the move down here, and then even last Monday on the 15th here, we've had some pretty big moves. Let's go back to that 15-day, 15-minute time frame, as you can see here. Go back to when we were up in New York, and on that Friday, the day of that get-together at the rooftop bar, is nasty. The following Monday, nasty, right? And then a pretty big nasty Wednesday, pretty decently nasty after hours on Thursday. Friday just kind of went back down to where we went on Thursday. So, where do we get to this week? Now, I'll go to the top side. Say somehow we bounce here in the 490s, the 488, 85-ish or 87 area. Even if we don't even bounce before that, let's just go up from there from right now. Say we don't even go down, we keep going up. I don't know that we'd go up that much this week. So overall, moving back on up, where are we going to go through? We've got to get back over through 500. 500 was so key to holding that 498, 499 area. And you can see once we finally cracked that 498.75 area, we were kaput. And then if we don't maintain and regain that, it's going to be hard. So on the way back up, watch for resistance here at 495. Over 495, right around that 498 to 498.75 mark, and then 500. Over 500, watch for a pop up to 502.65, 502.50-ish area, possibly up to 504. 504 would be my normal high of the week. Maybe we don't go down at all, and we continue to surge. You know what? I don't know that we'd get any higher than 506 this week. So what I'll say is this week on the way back up, normal and ultimate high of the week, 504 to 506 area. Now on the way back on down, where can we continue to go to? Well, of course, being a magnet toward that 492 could be on watch 100%. Other than that, we're falling down to this 491, and you can see what I was saying about that high 490s mark, or 480s mark. And if we don't crack through that, maybe we can bounce back up and get to the 500 mark, maybe a hair above it, to that 502, 503, 504 mark. But boy, if we tumble, we're right down to 485. Then below that, we're down to 483. I'll say my normal low of the week, because we tumbled so much over the past, I'd say 7 trading days or so, 6 to 7 trading days, from 520 down to 495. I don't think we'll get any lower next week below than 483 to 4, somewhere around 485-ish, maybe down to 483. Ultimate low of the week, we continue to tumble and find our way back down to this 478 mark, 477 mark. Let's go to alphabetical time, and boy, we've got some thumper dumpers going across the board as well, as you can see here, just going back. That 12th, that was the Friday with the get-together there at the rooftop bar. We're talking popping back up to 178 plus area and now down to 164. My big short, I've been talking about it for weeks, was the 167, 168, somewhere right through here mark. We had not been below that in quite a while. Finally got it here in the last couple of days, and now it's holding up just right here. Now we're below that. That's essentially now we got to go back to 52 weeks here. And we don't have much more left to go until we're at 52-week low, which is 162.8. Below 162.8, you're going to have to then go back in to 22 area and see even further down, right? So you can see there's what we got. That's it. That's a 52-week low right here. We crack through that, we're really starting to plummet, really starting to go down here. And you can see we don't have much left to go here. The 52-week low was right about here. Now we're working back. Okay, now we have a little bit lower left to go. Okay, we do have a little left to go. That's right. Okay, not much though, right? We don't have much left until we're continue to go, because we're working our way to April, and that's right here where the 52-week lows were. I think Apple could easily find our way down right here through that. That's a 52-week low right here at 163, 162 mark. Down to then 160, which was just a 52-week low last week on the 12th I just talked about. And I think we can then easily find our way down to this 158-ish, 157 marks, the upper shadow, then down to those upper shadows at 156. So I'd go normal low of the week, right around the 160 mark, maybe to 160, 150. just below 52-week. But I think if that 52-week low breaks, I think we plummet all the way down to 157, 158, if not 156. Now, maybe we bounce off 52-week lows. Maybe we bounce off that 52-week low and start to come back on up of that one, even if we do crack down a little bit tomorrow under 164, which I'd be on high watch under yesterday's low of day, Friday's low of day for tomorrow on Monday. Or if you're watching it right now, Monday morning, watch this on short today under 164 down to 52-week low, which is in the 162s. Say if we bounce either off of low of yesterday or on Friday or the 52-week low, we've got to work our way back through 165.70, then up through this low of day of last Thursday of 166.50. 166.50 breaks. We're in this area, 167.30, then to 168. 168 and a hair above it will be my normal high of the week. My ultimate high of the week will take it back up through that, through 170, and maybe not much higher than 170, maybe 172, but that means we cannot crack the 52-week low. Over to AMD. What's this also reminding you of? Yikes. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yikes, right? So we're working our way back really far to charting. My short here was under the 160 mark. Been talking about that for weeks. Bounce at 160, bounce at 160, bounce at 160 last or week before last. And if I would have done a morning alert last week, or a weekly preview, I should say, and I was talking about it in my morning alerts, which you can sign up for, under 160 for the short. And we're going to find our way down to 150. And I knew it, and we cracked back below that. So I'm calling all these plays out. I will tell you which long-term play I am for a short and more movement down, because I'm tired of watching these plays that I'm calling out go down. Now that we're below that, where are we at right here at 145? Oh no, where are we at next? Into 140. So 140's next, then 138.75, roll to 138. Below that, down to 133. We'll just call it 133.50. 133.50 is going to be my ultimate low of the week. I don't think we'll crack back below that. My normal low of the week, because I think we've come down so far, we'll get some sort of green this week again. We won't get any lower than this 140 mark. I know that's pretty close, but I think AMD will get back to kind of chopping like it was here, and not have as many crazy red days to continue down. So normal low of the week around 140, ultimate down here around 133, 134. Now on the way back on up, we've got to get back above 150. Resistance, it's going to be resistance getting back above there. So 150 and a hair above it, up to around this mark right here of 152 is my normal high of the week. 150 to 152. My ultimate high of the week would then take it up to 155, then up to this 157 mark. 157 potentially up to that 160 crack zone is my ultimate high of the week. Over to ARM, and this one also just got demolished this past week, and especially on Wednesday and Friday. I guess you really could call Wednesday as well as 122 down to 107, but boy, we went from 103, 102 down to 85. That's just a massive day. Crazy, crazy big how much this went down. We got to go back to the 4-hour here, and how far do we have left to go down? I talked about this in my morning alerts. If this cracked 100 on Friday, watch for this to move down easily to 93. And we got a lot of good movement last week, and especially on Friday. So hopefully you guys are ready for a little more. That's why I love going up so much now, because we can now come down. We got a lot of room to run down. You've got a lot of profitability zone, as I call it. I think overall, ARM is just a magnet, and I mean just a magnet back down to this $80 mark. 80 to 78 is on lock this week. I think that is a normal low of the week. Ultimate low of the week takes it back down to 75 and maybe even 70. We will go back essentially to where this shot up from, and it sucks to see. I know we'll go up in the future. I was hoping maybe get more out of ARM and get up to 250 or something. But that market finally, after the earnings report in February, is starting to stalemate into March, and now the pullback into April. It's almost like March showers are bringing April flowers. It's almost usually supposed to be April showers bring May flowers. It was like March consolidation is equal an April pullback here, essentially. And so 80, normal low of the week, down to 70-ish or so, ultimate low of the week. Now for your move back on up, what do we have to do? We got to get back through these key areas even on Friday, because there's really nothing else holding it up. So over 90 to 95, over 95 to 100, and I think somewhere in there, Queenie, can we please lay down? Queenie, can we please lay down? I think somewhere right around 100 is going to be my normal high of the week. Maybe we somehow reverse. Queenie, please lay down. Maybe we somehow reverse and we don't go down that much more. Maybe we just get the red day on Monday, get back down to that $80 area that I think we're a magnet to, and then we can continue to fly. So watch on Monday or any day this week under this 85.60 mark, and Monday preferably be better. One more great red day like last Monday would be cool just to get more continuation. Every trader would be on board with that and not have to know what day is it. Boom, it's Monday. We're going to keep going down. Cool. But if we pop up off 80, I think we could still work our way back toward 100. But I don't think we get any higher than 100 to 105. Normal and ultimate high of the week, right around 100 to 105. I don't even know if we may, depends on how far we go down. We may not even get back to 90 to 95. If we go straight down through 80, down to around 70, we probably won't make it back up to only around this where we started the week at, is my point. Maybe a little hair over it. Over to Goog. It's a real choppier play in my opinion. I'm not going to go over it. I don't like it. It's just in an area I don't like. It didn't really move down or up that much here recently. Now, Meta is one that is. Meta here. Let's go back to the 4 hour. What are we cracking here? If we crack this 480 mark and then this little lower shadow, which we're right on right now and hugging like Huggy the Bear, under this 476, what do you want to call it? It's a lower shadow. 476 on the dot. I thought it was a round number. Under 476, this stock, Meta, is on high watch for a move down, in my opinion, right there to around this 471, 470 mark. And then below that, we're going to find our way to 463, 100%. Well, first the bottom of that channel, 467, then to 463, then down to 460. Normal low of the week, Meta, I'm going to go right around the 460-ish mark. 460 to around 465, somewhere in there. Your ultimate low of the week, I just don't think we'll crack this yet, but if we do, it's another one. Netflix coming up is in the same boat, and that's the one I'm long term shorting for now because it's about to crack a zone like this, and it's got a lot of meat on the bone to run. So normal low of the week for Meta around 455, 450. Oh, I should say ultimate low of the week. Normal low of the week around 460 to 465. Now say maybe we can hold up off this 475, 476 mark, or maybe even bounce right here off of 471, 472, 470. Maybe we'll have a chance to pop back on up, but we got to get over 482. Got to get over this 487 mark. Boop and boop. Got to get over 490. My normal high of the week will be around 490 to 491, 92. My ultimate high of the week will take it back up to 495, possibly 497, maybe close to 500. Over to Microsoft. As you can see here, what are we doing? Tumbling away, and that means we have what? Meat on the bone and places to roll to. Look at the lower shadows we're getting hung up on, and that's about it. We cracked that one, and now we're pretty much down to this 496 to 497 one. If we crack those, we're down right here to 494. Under 494, this is hitting 490. Under 490, this could see 390. Then this could hit 385 for the week. My normal low of the week, because we have cracked really hard from that Friday the 12th, and then Monday, really the 15th of a week ago, throughout the week from 420s down. That's a $30 pullback, essentially. I don't think we'll go that much further before we start bouncing. My normal low of the week will be 490 or 390, 390. My ultimate low of the week will take it down to around 385, maybe a hair below it. For your way back on up, if we do not crack 396 down to 390 and we can hold around that area over the next couple of days, in my opinion, Microsoft can pop back up to 400, maybe 402. 405 will be my normal high of the week, with my ultimate high of the week taking it to 407.50, 410, up to maybe 412. Over to Netflix, my baby. Yeah, we were on this one. Our own earnings, I said it was probably going to be bad into Friday, saying, hey, you know what? I know this is going down, and let's just get into charting so you can see what I'm looking at. And right here, baby, we're already at it. How Meta's got a little way to come down to get to that area. Netflix is already here. So Netflix under, and I said this is exactly where Netflix would come to in the earnings. And if we crack this, we could really start to give back some gains back to all-time highs of 500 there. So you can go here to the, let's just go actually to the, what you can go to, just go to the 3 year, just go boom, right? Oh, never mind, I forgot. Okay. Forgot Netflix had a one-time higher price back in that 2020 or the 21-22 mark. But you get back under this 550 mark, you can see here in charting, even back here, there's just nothing really from 550 down to maybe 525, right? And then this thing will tank under 550, team. So this is on high watch. I'm already in short for the puts. Next Friday puts, I'm already have the expiration date for next Friday. Under this 550 mark, which we're already essentially at. Under 550, we're down here to around 450 or 543. Then down to 540. That'll be my normal low of the week. 540 to this 535 mark, somewhere in there. If that cracks that, we will see 525. Now, do we continue to go down to 500? It's hard for me to tell because we went from 640 real quickly up on earnings. We'll just call it 620 is where we were, though. 620, that's a $70 pullback in 2 days. You know, that's kind of what we did here. We went, and I said it would probably happen. 480 up to 580. It's about a $100 move. So we have a little bit left in the tank. Now, again, overall, this is about a $100 move. We got $10 left to get down to 640 or 540. So that's why 540 to 535 is going to be my normal low of the week. Kind of just a testing that we'll call this a $100 move. But maybe traders don't consider that part of the move and they're starting from 620, which means what? We've got 30 more bucks to go. So I'm going to say my normal low of the week is going to be 540 to 535. My ultimate low of the week will take it down to 520. It could go to 500, but I'll go ultimate low of the week somewhere around the 520 mark. For your way back on up, maybe we don't somehow crack 550 and we pop up, or especially maybe somewhere around 540 to 535, but the lower we go, that means the less we're going to go up. And so on the way up, 560 is resistance to 565, 570. To me, we won't get any higher than 570 to 580 next week. I just think we go down more before we go up. And even if we go up, I don't think we go up that much, because it could be a little choppier after this big move. Plus, earnings are coming up as well on a lot of these other plays. So what do? Do they drag market down up? Do they pop up? Do we get choppy because some are up, some are down? Regardless, don't forget about that as well. So I'll say normal high of the week. We'll go 570 to 575. Ultimate high of the week, 580. Maybe back up to 585, 590. Over to NVDA, and of course the mega monster dump on Friday it took as well. Let's just go back to the 4 hour because what? We kind of cracked all the support we had, fell back down to 800, then cracked that down to 770, cracked that. What's next on board here? There's nothing here. This is a magnet to 750 on Monday, if not down to 740. Under 740, this will hit down to 720 and possibly 700. My normal low of the week will be, because we have cracked so much all from last Monday and Friday downward. We're talking about a $150 move. I would say we're locked to 750.40, but under that, it could get a little bouncy. 725 normal low of the week, ultimate low of the week, it'll be back to around the 700 mark, 705 to 695. For the way back on up, and somehow, some way, we don't crack a lack down through at least 750, and we can hold 750 right here, that 750 mark. We're a little bit below it to 745, 740. Watch for a bounce back up into where we came from this week. 755, 760 will be strong resistance. And that, in my opinion, will be the normal high of the week. I think we come down more, could get a little choppier. You can see back on up. If we did go up, you go through Monday's charting, or I should say Friday's charting. But this 770 area, 775, 780, that'll be my normal high of the week. My ultimate high of the week will plow through that somehow if we do get up, because this can move, but it won't get any higher than 800, maybe back to 815, 825 area. Over to the Qs as well here, coming on down. You can tell we're under this last support area right there, 417. So where we're a magnet at, we're about there. Boom. 413, 412, 410. Through that could get choppy, honestly, and maybe helps maybe a little bit across with the NASDAQ across the board, though we don't dump down too much more. But I'd say 410's a lock, down to around 406. 406-ish area to 405, normal low of the week. Ultimate low of the week will take it down to this 402-ish area, 402.50 to 400. I don't think we crack too much more on QQQ before we see a bounce. Now, the best bounce area, and we might see, is 395. Old resistance equals new support. So I like 395, and I like 402 area, this 402.50 area. I think we're a lock done deal. Normal low of the week will be 406.50. It could even be 402.50 with room down to this 395 mark. For the move back on up, let's get into a 15-minute here and see if we can bounce back through 415 to 417.50 area to 418.50, kind of right. 420 normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week will take it back up to 422.50 area, possibly to 425 for QQQ. SMCI and the mega monster, like 20+% dump we had on Friday, which is crazy for a play that cost $900 to have a 20% dump from 930. I mean, imagine, it kind of reminded me of small cap going from $7 to, not. This went from 935 down to 700 essentially. Got a couple of great shorts down to 800, then another one down through 750 to 715, which I think I got out right before the closing bell, like right there at that lower shadow right there. So what do we have for the next week? 4-hour time frame. Gotta go to it. There's our magnet, and why I said 700 was on lock. Now, if we do crack through that, We're going down to 687. Under 687, we're heading down to 660. 660 normal low of the week. Ultimate low of the week will take it down to 625-ish or so. For your move back on up, we've got to get back over 720, then to 750, over that to 765, 770 area, 775 right through there. Over that, then we'll pop to 790, which is great support, old resistance support area, 790 to 800. Why am I going up that high? I don't really know, because I don't know if we're going to even pop up that high. I mean, after that big day, it's almost like I want to give SMCI some more room this week, but I figure after that big day, I think a lot of traders are going to do this. I'm like, oh my God, we just dumped how much? So again, I will say, in my opinion, 795 to 810, ultimate high of the week, with your normal high of the week. Let's go ahead and get to let's see here, because we move so much. I'll say normal high. Okay, you know what? Normal high of the week. I'll say normal high of the week. 790 to 800, ultimate high of the week back on up close to 850, maybe right around right there, that 850 mark, 850 to 875, somewhere in there. I'm going to give it a little more room just because of what happened on Friday, but don't forget, I'm saying it could get a couple of days this week because we have how much, and it could even happen tomorrow because of how much we dumped on Friday. Last but not least here, we do have Tesla. So, Tesla here, another one of those ones that we are heading on down with, which that I called out and was like, it is 160 was my short area. 160 down to this 153 mark. If we cracked it, we're under, it's 52-week lows. So now we have to really go back into time here and try to find something where we can fall down to next, which in my opinion, you can see here, there's nothing down until we're right now, right around 145. Under 145 down to 140. Under 140, this should see 136. Normal low of the week, because we have dumped from 170 down to 145, I'll say normal low of the week, we don't dump too much more, and we could see down around 138.75 to 136. My ultimate low of the week will then take it down to 133, possibly 130 for Tesla. For the move back on up, and this one is going to be one of those long-term plays for a long-term hold down the line because of how low it's getting. I would say watch Tesla here, back over 148, over 148 to 150, over 150 to this 151 mark, over 151 to 152, over 152 to 154. 154 normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week will then squeeze it back up to this 158, maybe 160 area, the crack zone from Tesla. Do not forget we have earnings this week across the board. Moving into next week, it's already here again. So I'll have that on high watch and what to be looking for and what to be trading. I broke you down this week what I think we're going to see in the SPY across the board. And you can see here, since we cracked that uptrend, why I love trend line cracks. You can use what you can literally, your strategies and your methods you take on the intraday, the 1, the 3, the 5, whatever minute time frame, you can use that on the daily, the larger time frames as well. See you this coming week over at tradecaster.com or my website, Prime Trading Investments. Sign up. We've got you hooked up. Whether you need some lessons, some one-on-ones, morning alerts, streaming live, we got you covered. AK-47 signing off for now. Until next week.